When you think of high-end fashion, Giorgio Armani is undoubtedly one of the top names that come to mind. Like many famous fashion designers, his journey to success was paved with struggles, risks, and even borrowing money from friends. But what if, instead of borrowing, you sold your car to fund your dream? That's exactly what Armani did. Before becoming a household name in fashion, Giorgio Armani was studying medicine. However, he sold his Volkswagen Beetle to start his own fashion line. He later repurchased it once his business started to make enough money. How did a man who struggled financially manage to build a fashion empire worth $9.6 billion? Every successful entrepreneur has an extraordinary story, and Armani's story is no different. Born on July 11, 1934, in Piacenza, Italy, Giorgio was the second child of Ugo Armani, an accountant, and Maria Raimondi. He grew up with his older brother Sergio and younger sister Rosanna in a modest household. The family wasn't wealthy, and his parents taught him the values of humility and hard work. Ugo, Giorgio's father, worked for a shipping company, but the financial hardships caused by World War II made life difficult for the family. While most children struggle to figure out what they want to do when they grow up, Giorgio had a clear vision from a young age. His interest in human anatomy sparked when he read A.J. Cronin's The Citadel, inspiring him to pursue a career in medicine. In 1950, Giorgio enrolled in the Department of Medicine at the University of Milan. He worked diligently toward his childhood dream of becoming a doctor. But after 3 years of studying, he began to question whether medicine was truly his passion. In 1953, Giorgio left the university and decided to join the military, hoping the time away would help him figure out what he truly wanted in life. During his time in the military, Giorgio's medical background kept him from being sent to war zones. Instead, he was stationed in Verona, where he worked at a hospital for 2 years. It was here that Giorgio realized medicine wasn't his calling, and he decided to leave the military to seek a different path. Although he had now failed in 2 fields, Giorgio wasn't ready to give up. Returning to Milan, he sought work in an entirely different sector. In 1953, Italy was still grappling with the aftermath of the Second World War, and many families were struggling financially. This economic hardship made it hard for Giorgio to find a job, especially without a specific career background. Determined, Giorgio managed to secure a job as a window dresser at a department store called La Rinascente in Milan. He worked his way up and was eventually promoted to sales in the menswear section, where he began to develop an interest in fashion. It was here that his passion for design truly ignited. His interest in menswear deepened as he started advising customers on their clothing choices. By 1957, Giorgio was appointed as a buyer for La Rinascente. But after 7 years, Giorgio felt the urge to leave the department store and take a leap into fashion design. This decision would introduce him to someone who would become a key figure in his life and career. With no experience in designing clothes, Giorgio sought to learn from someone who could teach him the craft. In the early 1960s, he joined a company called Hitman, run by Nino Cerruti. Here, Giorgio used his experience from working in menswear to design simple, mass-producible clothing. His designs were so successful that Nino Cerruti promoted him to head of the menswear department. Despite his success at Hitman, Giorgio was still hungry for more. He wanted to see more people wearing his creations. During his time with Cerruti, Giorgio freelanced for 10 other companies, gaining recognition and building his reputation in the male fashion industry. As his influence grew, Giorgio met someone who would play a significant role in the future of his career. In the late 1960s, Giorgio met Sergio Gagliotti, a young architect who had worked for several architectural firms in Italy. Despite the 11-year age gap, the two quickly developed a strong professional and personal bond. Sergio believed in Giorgio's talent and encouraged him to set up his own design office in Milan. In 1973, Giorgio took a major step and left Hitman to become a freelance designer. With newfound freedom, he collaborated with top fashion houses in Milan, including Allegri, Baguda, Hilton, Seconds, Gibo, Montedoro, and Tondres. His work was well received, and soon international press began to take notice. It was during this time that a key moment in Giorgio's career unfolded. He was invited to showcase his designs at a fashion show held at the prestigious Sala Bianca in Florence. This event marked his breakthrough, cementing his place in the fashion industry and bringing even more attention to his brand. Following the success of his runway show, Giorgio's close friend Sergio urged him to launch his own fashion label. However, there was one major obstacle. Giorgio didn't have the financial resources to start his brand. At this critical juncture, Sergio made a bold suggestion. Giorgio should sell his beloved Volkswagen Beetle to fund the business. Although skeptical about starting his own company with little business experience, Giorgio took the leap and sold his car. In 1975, he and Sergio launched the Giorgio Armani Corporation, with Sergio handling the administration and Giorgio focusing on design. That same year, the first luxury ready-to-wear collection for men was introduced. The collection was an immediate success, leading to a women's collection the following year, which was also well received. Armani's success didn't stop there. He became known as a pioneer of red carpet fashion, but it wasn't until the 1980s that his name truly gained traction in the US market. In 1979, Giorgio Armani began producing his collections for the American market. His designs quickly gained popularity in the US, and he became one of the most sought-after designers in Hollywood. In 1980, Giorgio made his red carpet debut by dressing Richard Gere for the movie American Gigolo. This brought enormous attention from American audiences, leading to more celebrity endorsements, including costume design for the hit show Miami Vice. As his popularity soared, Giorgio expanded his brand into accessories, swimwear, and underwear. One of the most iconic moments in Armani's career came when he designed the power suits, which became a sensation in both men's and women's fashion. The demand for his designs became so overwhelming that Giorgio and Sergio opened the first Armani boutique in Milan. However, in 1985, Giorgio faced a devastating loss. Sergio Gagliotti passed away from AIDS. Giorgio was heartbroken, and many feared that the company would suffer without Sergio's leadership. But after a period of mourning, Giorgio returned to his role as the sole owner of the Giorgio Armani Corporation. Despite the challenges, Giorgio proved that he was more than capable of running the company. He continued to innovate, introducing new collections and expanding his brand's reach. Today, Armani is known worldwide as a luxury fashion brand, with products ranging from clothing to home interiors and perfumes. His incredible journey has led to a net worth of $9.6 billion and an annual income of $90 million. Have you ever owned an Armani product? Which brand would you like us to cover next? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and check out our other content on the channel.